I started recording the rehearsals of my band when I was 15. At the time I lived in Italy, and I just got into a never-ending rabbit hole of buying more stuff to record those rehearsals better, until I convinced my parents to let me turn part of their basement into a recording studio. I bought my first 32-channel inline analog console, and I bought a tape machine, 16-track, and that's how it all started. I decided that there wasn't enough diversity in southern Italy. I was always recording the same thing, which I don't mind, punk hardcore, but that's all I was recording every day, because that was the scene in, late 90s. So I decided to, take it up a notch. And I decided I would instead go to New York and do an internship, and then go back to Italy and continue running a studio, or maybe open a studio up in northern Italy. And then New York captured me and never let me go. Eastside Sound is one of my favorite studios in New York City. It's definitely the oldest running studio in downtown New York. 47 years and counting. I've worked here as the chief engineer for close to 15 years. I have a lot of my gear in here. Now I have the Atom speakers, both of them, or all four of them. And yeah, so between the three of us, we run this studio, although I'm a freelancer and I work everywhere in different cities, countries, studios. Very proud of how much diversity we have here and how much diversity I have in my resume, in the sense that I'll literally jump one day from doing a rock record or even a metal record to the next day doing a classical music record. I did a record with a band called Preacher's Son, which is a great 70s rock band from Ireland. So for that I flew to a studio called Grouse Lodge outside of Dublin, where we basically spent a week recording, and then I mixed it here. In July 2016, I flew to LA to Village Recorders, and we recorded Nick Cave there. I've also recorded Borns. U2 was in New Orleans, Perry Farrell, Foo Fighters. I recorded in LA at East West, Kesha. We recorded the Les Paul tribute record that Frank Cathcart produced and Bob Cottarella produced, and I engineered. And then I mixed the whole record here. And that's the record that won 2 of my 3 Grammy Awards. One of the reasons that I like mixing in this room at Eastside Sound is because I have my speakers here, which I'm used to using, and I know how they sound. And obviously that's the most important thing about a room. The room itself will have its color and its frequency response, and that can change in a number of ways, and does change in a huge way sometimes from studio to studio. But having the right speakers, or at least the same speakers throughout, will help you understand what's going on at any given time. So when I go to another recording studio, I usually put on something that I've recorded to see how their speakers sound. I need a speaker that is not forgiving. I need a speaker that's true to what I put into the speaker, and I need a speaker that doesn't make my ears bleed after a couple of hours of mixing. And I found this. The A7X, which you see behind me, is a perfect example of what I was describing. The ribbon tweeter is something that I've always thought helps in that sense. It makes the sound more smooth, more pleasing, without making it harsh over time. Like, I can definitely mix a number of hours without ear fatigue. When you know your gear and you know your room, it's very easy to come up with good sounds. But sounds are only as good as the sounds you can hear through the speakers, because you can have your best microphones and your best preamps, but then if you're not hearing through something that tells you exactly what's going on, you don't know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.